Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Teach in Thailand podcast, where we talk all things teaching and Thailand. And today I am joined by a very special guest, Natalie, who is Sign's brand new social media and marketing manager. Super happy to have you here. So let's get straight into it. I want to ask you a little bit about your experience with Sign so far. So first of all, let's talk about teacher training. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience of training, how you found that week, some kind of ups, some downs, and just a little bit of an overview would be awesome.
Absolutely. Yes. So my first experience with Sign was the teacher training. So I turned up, obviously post-interview, turned up at the Student Christian Centre where we have our training, met all of the staff. And I was really excited because joining in May obviously means that you join into a large cohort.
Yes.
Love being part of cohorts. It's lovely to be trained together.
It really is.
It's a lot of excitement in the room because all these teachers have come from many different countries and flown a long way to get to Thailand, meeting each other often for the first time. And it was a lovely experience training. I feel like everyone makes you feel very welcomed, that they're very grateful for you to be here. So training week in a nutshell is preparing you for everything that you might face in the classroom, including the Sign curriculum, the materials, how different programs work, because we have our conversation program and then a slightly more advanced level. And obviously if you're an EP teacher, you'll get trained separately, but those two streams that most teachers will end up teaching in their school, everything from that to classroom management advice. And then importantly, and the thing that I enjoyed the most is actually teaching mock lessons, teaching mock parts of lessons. What I loved about training is that you're actually being trained by current Sign teachers, specifically teachers that have done really well, so they really know how to tackle classroom issues, but also how to get the best out of the students. Obviously, when they're training us, they're training native English speakers who obviously know everything already, but they know how to work in nuances that as native English speakers, we don't know fully how a Thai student's going to react to certain things.
Even if you have teaching experience from your home country, you wouldn't have necessarily used them because you were teaching kids who also speak English. But as soon as you're learning ESL, you have to learn a whole new different strategy and set of kind of skills and techniques, because it is a whole different discipline, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that was my absolute favorite part, because you'll get the chance to teach to your cohort that you're in. You'll obviously be part of a large cohort, but during training, you're then broken into sort of regional groups. So I was in, like, obviously now I'm going to be based in the office here in Bangkok, but I knew that I'd be going to Isan for my first month with Sign. So I was with other teachers in the Isan area, which was lovely, because if you happen to be in training with another new teacher at the school that you're going to, you'll meet at training. But even then you'll be making friends with people who end up being an hour drive away, so you can meet up on the weekends and just have someone familiar that's close geographically to you if you're out of Bangkok.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's a really nice way to join, is having that training, having some people, having some connections. And we've seen it already. Some teachers that joined us at our training recently have met up in the cities, met up in each other's towns, been and done activities with each other and stuff like that. So it's really, really a really good way to actually build those connections, have kind of a soft launch into Thailand and into teaching, where you've got at least a week with other people who are all new. They've all traveled over here from whatever country they've come from, but you're all kind of same place, same time. And then you can build those connections and at least feel a little bit safer and more secure going off onto your own.
Yeah, because I think something I see often is people who are quite scared of being lonely as a teacher in Thailand. But I think training really puts your mind at ease, and it just contextualizes, like, oh yeah, I'm in a legit program. I've legit got a job here, and these are some lovely people. So yeah, you're meeting the whole management team of Sign. Even the director comes during training. You meet all the FTA team who will be processing your visas. During training as well, they'll ask you for all your documents so that they can scan them, put them into our system, and then once they've given your documents back, you don't need to worry about your visa anymore. They've got everything, and they'll just contact you when, obviously, and we've got a podcast on visas, haven't we? So you can go watch that. But yeah, training as well. The social side was also lovely. Obviously, we're getting taught how to deliver the classes and everything. But, you get a full lunch hour, you get breaks where you can, go and mingle. Exactly. The training takes place in Ratchaturi, which is very central and close to Siam area as well, Ceylon. So if you want to go out after work, which actually everyone really did end up
Yes, yeah,
doing,
yeah.
lots of socials, both planned and unplanned, happened. And the highlights I think that teachers have is the Amazing Race.
Oh, the Amazing Race is awesome. It's awesome. We
Yes.
won't give too much away because we
No.
like to keep it as a surprise for when you join us here. But yes, we have a
Yeah.
really special day where you get to go and do some sort of treasure hunting around the city,
Yes,
which is cool.
exactly. And in a nutshell, it's lots of modes of transport,
Yep.
team building skills, exploring places you never would have, and cultural experience, which I really appreciated being guided through because I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known how to do that on my own. So get
Yeah.
excited for that when you
Yeah,
come for
it's so
training.
fun. It's so
Yeah,
fun. Okay, so you've done your training and you went off to Isan. So I want to know, whereabouts were you in Isan? What was the town like? What was the school like? And yeah, just what was your experience up there?
absolutely. So Isan's a huge region.
Massive.
If you type it into Google Maps, you will have a huge region highlighted. So I was in the Buriram
Hmm.
area and I was in a town an hour south of Buriram called Nangrong. I would say it's a small to medium sized town and the school is around 4,000
Yeah,
people in
yeah.
school, students and teachers included. So yes, I spent a month in Nangrong school. I had a team of 3 other signed teachers with me. So head teacher Tom, teacher Will, and teacher Warren, who were all lovely, plus our coordinator Cartoon, who was
Awesome.
amazing.
Aw-
Yeah, she helped me find good accommodation and just told me a few things about the town, which were really helpful. One misconception I had about rural Thailand
Mhm.
before I started getting into this role and knowing that I was going to Nang Rong was that I'd have literally nothing to do.
Yeah,
Um,
quite a common misconception, I think.
yeah, but actually, I'm a huge cafe lover. I love different cafes. Bangkok obviously have so many cafes. Nang Rong has really, really nice cafes. So if you're into cafes and
Hmm.
maybe if you like Instagrammable cafes,
Yeah.
that you'll love them. So one of them was just very nicely decorated and had
Hmm.
an amazing like crepe menu, which was great.
Oh, nice.
Another one was a really gorgeous cafe with like lots of vinyls, um, outdoor seating area which after school I went and relaxed in, and
Perfect.
some of the students would be there as well. Like, oh, hi, teacher. But it's so lovely. The town is very walkable too.
Mhm.
There's a night market, plenty of 7-Elevens if you want some like convenience
Yeah.
quick food, but you can't go hungry in Nang Rong.
No.
Outside the school, there are like fried chicken
Endless
salads,
vendors.
bubbles,
Yeah.
everything you could ever want. And it did surprise me. For me, I'm not a driver because I know I'm city based. So
Hmm.
I think if you had a scooter, you can get from one side to the other so
Yeah.
quickly. And after school, me and teacher Will and Cartoon, our coordinator, we would go walk. There's a lake just behind the
Oh,
school with
lovely.
a running track and a walking track.
Hmm.
There's also outdoor aerobics that happen
Nice.
at
Very
about
nice.
6 p.m. Beautiful sunset and also classic outdoor gym equipment as
Yeah.
well. So I really thought that I'd be going and like there would be really nothing for me to do. There are plenty of gyms. It's exactly what you make it.
Yeah.
If you stay in,
100%.
yeah, you won't see anything. But if you find out from your peers, like
Hmm.
what can you do outside of school? They give you a suggestion, you go with them. We made a video with teacher Will and
Yes.
got some lovely pictures of him. He's made lots of friends with some of the Thai teachers and they've gone out to Morlam shows, the dance
Lovely.
shows. They've gone out to forage food and make food out of
Oh,
the
so
herbs and
yeah,
stuff
that's
that they
so
made.
cool.
So I think it's very much a rural lifestyle, but you can get that mix of sort of like you can go to a cafe on the weekend or you can go hike up a mountain and pick
Yeah,
some
yeah.
vegetables.
It's what you make of it. I think that's a really good way to put it. It really is what you make of it, you know.
Mm.
It's one of those where if someone says to us that they want a city lifestyle, they want busy, they want all of these things, activities, they want to do this, they want to do that, then we wouldn't say, Isan. But if someone says they're not sure or perhaps they're interested in the idea of a slightly slower pace to life, then Isan is a great place. Even if you're there for one semester and you think, okay, I've done that now, I've had that experience, maybe I want to try something else, fine.
As well, I think you can still have a very fruitful lifestyle. But also
100%.
one thing I noticed in interviews, some people say they do want to be somewhere where there are activities, but they don't want to be in Bangkok because
Yeah.
the traffic's too much or it's just too busy. In Isan, you can get that. You
Yes,
can
absolutely.
equally also, I've spoken to people in Isan who've been there for many years and they love the quiet lifestyle. They like to relax and you can truly do that in Isan. Plus savings.
Just crazy.
Yeah,
Really.
it's a lot more affordable than in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So if you like a slow pace of life, then financially also it's pretty good too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you've got to really actually think about the work-life balance as well, haven't you? Because wherever you're placed, Monday to Friday, 7:30, 4:30, you're in school. After work, usually you want to maybe do a little something, go to the gym, go for a walk, whatever. You eat your dinner, you go home, you go to bed. So really, it's just the weekends. Well, living in Isan, you're only ever an hour or so away from a big city. You can go to the city for the day, for the weekend, but you've got, because of this cheaper cost of living, you've got way more money to explore, to experience. You know, perhaps you're working up in the top of Isan, you go to Khon Kaen and you can fly down to Bangkok, fly to Chiang Mai, go down to the south. You know, you have so much more disposable income because your day-to-day life is so much cheaper that you're able to do a lot more things
Mm.
during your holidays, during your weekends and your free time.
Exactly. And I think as well, having a geographically smaller place
Hmm.
means that the community building
Oh,
becomes way
fantastic.
easier. I will say it's much easier if you can speak a little bit of Thai,
Yeah.
but I found, so I've been taking Thai lessons for about 6 weeks,
Mhm.
and I really truly put it into practice in Isan, just because people don't speak as much English. For example, there's not as many tourists there,
No.
so the need to speak English isn't as high. Many people can speak English, but
Hmm.
it was a really good opportunity for me to practice Thai and be forced to speak
Yeah.
Thai. But the reason I say community building is because you'll see the other teachers out in
Hmm.
town, you'll see the students out in town after work, and they'll always say, "Hi, teacher." You'll be in 7-Eleven having a browse, and
Yeah.
you'll hear,
Yeah.
"Hi,
Hi,
teacher," which is
teacher.
so sweet. Another thing I would love to talk about is the school itself, not
Hmm.
just living there. That I've not taught yet in Bangkok. I've only taught in Nang Rong school. But oh, the students in Nang Rong are
Just lovely.
lovely. Yes, they are very, very proficient in English, actually. It's a very good school academically. But just their willingness to learn and to
Yeah.
listen to you. Again, the level of foreigners in a town like Nang Rong is so, so, so much less than in Bangkok. So you're getting students who, when I tell them I'm from England, they tell me, "Oh,
Yeah.
do you know Arctic Monkeys? They're from England.
Yeah.
Do you know the Beatles? They're from England." I'm like, "Yes, I know them. I really like them
Hmm.
too." Or, they ask me about things about living in the UK, coming from the
Yeah.
UK. And it's lovely because they're really, really genuinely interested to know.
I often think that it is actually a lot easier to build relationships with your students and build that rapport in Isan because there's a lot they're super open to it, which is a really nice experience for a teacher. The last little thing I want to talk about is now you've had experience of training, you've had experience of teaching, and obviously also relocating out here to Thailand. So, do you have any advice for someone that is considering moving to Thailand? Not just necessarily teaching, but some advice for someone who's going to want to move here to Thailand?
Absolutely. So I would say research is
Hmm.
your best friend. There is so much more to moving abroad than just booking a flight and booking accommodation. There are so many little nuances with the visa, for example, required funds
Yeah.
for different visas, no matter what visa you need that you are going to apply
Yeah.
for.
There's a
There's
requirement.
Yeah, and it's really good to be aware of that. It's just good to be up to date on visa rules as
Hmm.
well. So that's one thing just to note. I'd say if you are coming out here without a solid plan, it can be a little bit stressful because obviously your time is ticking as soon as you land. Your time's ticking to be able to find a job. So I'd say definitely just do some research. If you don't already use TikTok, I find the TikTok search function is so good. You can literally
Yes.
search something as specific as teacher moving to Khon Kaen
Hmm.
and you'll find a vlog from someone who's
Yeah.
done it. So use that, talk to people online,
Hmm.
DM us as
Yeah,
well if you've got
please.
any questions or anything you want us to cover online, because moving to Thailand looks different for everybody.
Most definitely.
So you might follow lots of people who are on the DTV visa. Their lifestyle and their visa process is very different to someone who wants to come on the education
Hmm.
visa, for example. So just lots and lots of research. Watch content from people who've done it.
Yes.
Other advice, I think, as well, just really think about the lifestyle that you want to have here. Because, again, if a more rural lifestyle is for you, then you might not enjoy Bangkok.
Mm.
If you know that you like to do specific hobbies, then maybe living in a certain location won't be for you. So just really do your research. And again, think about what do you want your life to feel like? What
Hmm.
do you want your life to look like? And seek it out.
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
me, yeah, like for me, I've made so many friends through my running club. I've made friends through a book
Hmm.
club. There are so many online resources like
There are.
Luma, Meetup, Eventbrite, lots of communities on Instagram as well
Yeah.
that I can recommend. Like there's just so much here and you can find it if you're proactive. So yeah, research and
Yes.
be proactive.
I think that's fantastic, fantastic advice. So because it's no matter why you want to come here, you really need to think about it. You really need to consider all of it. We definitely, I would say, in the past year, we've seen a huge rise of people applying to us kind of last minute because they've come here on a visa on arrival, or they've come here on a tourist visa because they wanted to, try and make it work. And then they've spent 3 months, not found anything, not been able to do anything. And then last minute, they kind of apply to us. And then unfortunately, they've spent all of their money. Make the decision while you're still in your home country. Do loads and loads of research and then make kind of an educated journey, and if you want some support to do that, but you don't want to have to worry about the visas, you don't want to have to stress about all of that, then join Sign and we'll do all of that for you instead. So similar question, but now specifically someone who's thinking about coming out here to teach.
So advice for that is, again, research the type of environment you want to work in, and also think about the age of the students that you might want to work with. So I've genuinely always been interested in high school. When I was a lot younger and thinking about doing my PGCE, which I never did, I got caught up in another career path. I told my friends, like, I think I'd like to teach secondary school. And they would say to me, why would you want to teach teenagers? Why would you want to do that? But for me, I knew that I wanted to be able to have more conversations with the students. As much as I think it would be so fun playing games with young students because it's fun, and obviously you're still facilitating some amazing learning for them. I personally would find more fulfillment in teaching young adults, essentially, like young teenagers, young adults. And I really enjoy doing that in Isan as well. There are so many ways that you can teach in Thailand, and that also depends on your previous teaching experience and qualifications.
Yes.
I am really glad that I found Sign. I originally applied to be a teacher, and the social media position happened to fit me as well. But I was so excited to be a teacher here because you do get everything that is advertised to you. There's no hidden stuff.
No.
There's no surprises. From the website, from my perspective, you can get everything you need to know. You know that you're getting your visas reimbursed and also sorted out for you. You know that you're being placed in a government school. You know the contract length, everything. And also the staff team are so visible online as well that there's no risk of it being a scam. Because unfortunately some programs are.
They are. Absolutely.
So I'd say, again, do your research. You don't need a TEFL to work with us.
No.
But some agencies do your TEFL with you and then place you, but they won't let you choose where to go, for example. So I think if you want more control over your own lifestyle, basically, Sign's a really great option. If you're the type of person that's even thinking about coming to Thailand to teach, but you haven't taught before, you're probably already going to be a good teacher, because if it fills you with joy and excitement to think about doing that job, and you're someone who likes to talk a lot, I love to talk, that's why we're here. Someone who likes to talk a lot and present and be really active and really light up students' faces. Like, you're already going to be a good teacher. We're just the launch pad for the rest of potentially your career in teaching as well. And we've had teachers go on to be head teachers, area managers, and just find that they love this. But maybe at home there would be such a barrier because there is so much training and cost involved, especially if you're making a career change. You've got to pay for another degree, you've got to be in school again, you've got to potentially give up high paying employment to do that. But here in Thailand, and especially with Sign, you get all those resources. So that wherever you do go, if you do leave Sign to teach somewhere else, you've had a really good comprehensive training and experience. And again, put yourself in a room full of 40 young children, young students, and you'll learn so much more than just how to teach English.
100%.
It's how to connect with people, who are a lot younger than you, who have different interests, who, again, classroom management is very different to when you were in school. So that just gives you a whole nother level of just communicating with people, and it's
skills for life. It's skills for life. It really is. But, yes, okay, I know that for people, who might be watching this thinking, well, we work for Sign, so obviously we're going to be kind of promoting it. But we're promoting teaching in Thailand in general. Whether you choose, Sign is a great option, biased and unbiased opinion. Sign is a fantastic option. But teaching in Thailand in general is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, for your future growth, for your, ability, your self-worth, your self-confidence. It will just grow you in ways that you would never, ever have expected. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure anyone watching you will get very used to seeing Natalie, as she will be starting hosting these podcasts from now on.
Yes.
So thank you so much for telling us a little bit about your experience of training and then teaching in Isan, and can't wait to kind of hear more from you and see you again.
Absolutely, yes. And if you have any questions about what we talked about today, if you want to know more, let us know in the comments below. We can make another video on it. Follow us on social media and we can answer your questions a lot quicker that way as well. Thank you so
Absolutely. No,
much.
thank you. It was a pleasure. And thank you very much for watching. As always, you can tune into our podcast on both Spotify or YouTube. They are released bi-weekly every Friday. So thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.